Good morning, students. Welcome again to our Principles of Management video lecture. Last video lecture, have you heard? I think due to some technicalities, voice were not clear. Please bear with that. I try to rectify in next videos. I'm trying to rectify due to software and this technicalities. Voice is a little bit husky, or please bear with that. So our unit 3, that is organizing chapter, which is one of the function of management, is divided into 7 videos. First video I explained about what is organizing, its importance, and what is the process of organizing along with principles. I explained in that. You are new to my voice online, so following will be little bit difficulty, but we have to go for examination. We don't have other alternative to reach you. Please follow the videos which are available in YouTube. If it is not available from the college link, you can also go to YouTube, type my name, you can get the videos, and in that you can also find the videos relating to financial accounting, e-commerce and computerized accounting. You can refer to your friends, those who are studying these subjects. Okay, students, now we are going to understand about second video, which is a small concept, span of management. We are moving to that video. All these we understood earlier. Right. Second video is based on the span of management. So what is the span of management? When you put the hand long, so at what extent you can find or reach a object, means up to the extent of length of your hand. Somebody are having the more length of hand, somebody are having less length of hand. So that is a physical ailment itself. See here, the span of management is how many number of subordinates you can control, you can supervise, you can manage, is nothing but the span of management. So a superior who is able to control just a moment. A person, individual or supervisor who can able to control his subordinates is called as a span of management. So the same thing we can see in this next slide, that is definition of span of management. Clearly the number of the subordinates can be effectively controlled by the manager. Okay, the span of management is nothing but the number of subordinates can be effectively controlled by the manager. Means the superior people or the higher authority can identify the superior who can control how many number of subordinates. Depends upon his expertise and his caliber, efficacy. They will decide how many number of subordinates we can allot him for supervision. Okay, here you will find a person is having the control on 4. These 4 people are having the control on 7, and these people are also having the control on other people. When you look at that here, and one subordinate is having the control of 6 people, compare with the other person is having only 3, and here one-to-one supervision was established here. Then coming to the types of the span of management is called as a span of control, span of supervise, span of responsibility. So the span of management, as we earlier understood about the control of subordinates, how many number of subordinates you can control comes under the call as a span of management. So here this is also called as a span of control or span of supervise, span of responsibility. Okay, and what is the importance of span of management? So if there is no supervision, the individual cannot work, and the overall objective of the organization may not be achieved. Organization itself is group of individuals or the workers along with the supervisors and subordinates. The hierarchy, whatever the hierarchy, individual is fitted into that hierarchy according to his qualification, supervision capabilities, and other things. So overall the organization is a mix of individuals, and the supervision is required to achieve the organizational objectives either through productivity or efficient services. The first importance of span of management brings better supervision. When you allot the subordinates under a supervisor and you are giving the authority and responsibility along with the delegation, the supervisor will look into his flock of people and whether they are working well or not, or he himself is responsible for group productivity. So it is possible with the span of management supervision as well as control also. Many organizations may not bear with the people, those who are not abide the rules and regulations of the organization. They may try to lose the organization. And here one concept is going on in America, that is 45 lakhs of the people, employees are resigned from the job for better opportunities. So the people are looking at for the better pay, I think. Okay, so when you are able to control them in a manner, you can keep with you for achievement of the organizational goals. Here the point is to understand the living of the people. When there is a much difference between the fresher and the experienced person. Fresher can be converted into experienced person while giving training and with the table experience or the live experiences only. We cannot make a plant into a tree in one night. Most of the cases we have to put more time to make the plant into a tree, which is very beneficial, or giving a shade to the individuals. In same manner, a person cannot be make into expertise overnight. So here the span of management, when we are fixing the subordinates, and we have to keep in mind supervision and control is possible with the superior or not, and increases the efficiency. Okay, so whenever the marketing, you take the example of marketing management. So when a supervisor is allotted to control or guide his subordinates, and they will be divided into the areas and segments. And while dividing the areas and segments, and they will look at into the point whether the superior is able to reach the subordinate in his area in less time or not. And connectivity is also one of the important factor in present days, whether he is able to connect the person in less time or not, which is increases the efficiency of the subordinate. So while giving the subordinates to the superior, a point to be remembered, that is efficiency is very important. Okay, so whenever the marketing management, they divide the total Telangana into either district wise or zone wise or territory mandal wise, like that, and they will appoint the heads according to the mandal wise or the city wise or some geographical location wise. They will divide and appoint the superiors where they appoint the subordinates. Okay, medical representatives, you understand about the medical representatives channels of their distribution, and their supervisors were allotted like that. Okay, so point one importance of span of management is increase the supervision and control and also increase the efficiency. Another one is good professional relations. Good professional relations. Span of management is able to learn one to one. One to one. Today's class 4 employee may become in one vice president of a company. Also, there is no bar and there is no hurdles to become such, like that. So he put more efforts to understand the company. He contribute his time to develop the company, and that was able him to choose for the post of vice president. The better examples of Indian CEOs who are leading the global organizations. They are the employees. They are the employees. And better to understand about the recent appointment of Twitter CEO. Video. Twitter CEO is recently joined. His working experience in that Twitter is 7 years, I think. I'm not exactly the time period is correct or not. Okay, so professional relations, subordinates will try to get experience from their supervisors, and they will move to the up ladder and reach to the higher levels and possibility to help the organizations also. And good communication and coordination. You just understand our body, which is having a good relations, coordination with all organs. If the coordination is misleaded or misguided or missed, then you have to go to Apollo Hospital or some other. So that will be corrected. So here the brain is communicating all the organs to better coordination. In same manner, the superior who is allotted his subordinates has to communicate his subordinates in better manner to bring coordination. That is a very important factor in each and every organization. Okay, so the importance of span of management is for getting good communication as well as achieving the good coordination, and it develops discipline and mutual trust. The success of all the organizations which are over the world is because of the discipline which they inserted or brought in their organizations, as well as mutual trust. Mutual trust. Organization trust the employee, employee trust the organization. Their journey will leads to years long, which helps the organization to develop into crores of turnovers. Crores of turnovers. Okay, the Amazon is not made into in that much crores of turnover. It is happened not in a night or in a very short span of time. The time is very long with the help of all the employees. Jeff Bezos is the head of the organization, and there are some of the people are his subordinates, and from those subordinates, and there are some country heads are there, and each one in this hierarchy, superior and subordinate, discipline was entrusted or discipline was brought, as well as which increased the mutual trust of the organizations. Okay, that is very important in each and every organization. So the importance of span of management, where you divide the employees into superiors and subordinates, and allotting the subordinates to the superiors according to the convenience and control of the subordinate and efficiency of the superior, that is called a span of management. The importance which of effective span of management is one is to bring better supervision and control, and which increases the efficiency of the organization and also the superior, and which brought professional relations. One and other all can learn, develop the relations develop the relations between superior and subordinate, which gives a good communication from top to bottom as well as bottom to top, and also brought a good coordination among all the employees. And another important is it develops discipline as well as mutual trust. Indisciplined people are out of the organization, and those who are not having trust, they don't join, or if they joined also they can't exist in the organization. That is the importance of effective span of management. Then coming to the what are the factors which affecting the span of management. So span of management, very simple to understand, is to the number of workers, subordinates, which were allotted to the superiors according to their convenience of supervision and control. Okay, now this is also called in three terms. One is a span of control, span of supervise, span of responsibility. So in this span of management, we can understand one is control, another one is supervision, another one is a responsibility. Okay, so the factors which influence the affecting span of management, factors which affect the span of management are: number one, nature of work. So there are different types of works are there, and according to the work, subordinates are allotted, and according to the able, control, responsibility and supervise. So when you take the production management, and it cannot be possible to allot the subordinates who are working in other plant in the supervisor who is working in plant A. So whenever the subordinates of plant A are allotted to the supervisor of plant A only, where the work is localized. And when you are looking at the online management, you take our Google has to understand, and Google has to identify the people, those who are browsing their websites, are browsing the Google Chrome itself. So which email IDs? So there they cannot give the allotment of in different countries into one person itself, or different areas into one person according to that. So nature of work is very important factor which affect the span of management. And another one is trust on subordinates. Trust on subordinates. So you take the subordinate is according to the supervisor. Subordinate is as per the supervisor only. Why the trust is breached? Either maybe because of subordinate or because of superior. So while deciding the superior, and they will identify whether these subordinates have trust in the supervisor or not, are also important factor. Okay, when the composition of ministries in central or state governments, they will take some factors into effect. They will take some factors into consideration. Why they will take into, that is a different issue, but they will look at into a small factor which influence according to that people, those who are not in limelight may also get portfolios. So whenever the organization is going to appoint a superior, then he will be known whether he is having the subordinates which we organization is able to allot have trust on the superior or not is also taken into account. Capacity of subordinates. So you are appointing a software engineer as a team leader who is can handle the only Oracle software. But the people, those who are having the knowledge of C language, Java, Python, like that. So the superior is having the different qualification, subordinates are having different qualifications or capacity. So here it is not possible to control by the superior of the subordinates. So whenever we are giving a span of management or deciding a superior, we have to understand the capacity of subordinates, where we can appoint a superior who is more than the expertise of the subordinates. So capacity of subordinates is very important factor when we are deciding the span of management, whether it will be long or short. Okay, then another one is fixation of responsibility. So when we are allotting the subordinates, we ask them to report to the superior. So what is their responsibilities? Where have to work, when have to work, how to work, to whom they have to report, how the reporting method. All these responsibilities we will explain to the subordinates, and then we will appoint the superior. So fixation of responsibility is one of the factor which affect the span of management. So irresponsible people, if anybody are there, and this irresponsible subordinate will be allotted to the which supervisor, we will also decide. So fixation of responsibility is one of the factor affects the span of management. And delegation of authority. So mean that our order will be reached to the superiors and through the superiors to the subordinates or not. That is a very important factor. So whenever we are delegating any work, whether the superior is able to complete through his subordinates or not, whether it is possible or not, that also look into a matter to the higher authorities or the high level organization officials. So delegation of authority is very important factor. And another one is very important one is capacity of supervisors. So I can allot 20 people, or I can allot only 8 people, or I can't allot the subordinates to the supervisor. This is also decided by the capacity of the supervisors. So people, according to their inherent management qualities, some people can handle more people, some people cannot handle more people. So that is their capacity. So whenever we are fixing the number of subordinates under a supervisor, the important factor is capacity of supervisors. We cannot, more people cannot be allotted, where the possibility we are losing, we may lose control as well as supervision. We cannot feel them responsibility because we are unable to reach them. So these are the factors, 7 factors which may influence the span of management. That is nature of work, trust, capacity of subordinates, fixation of responsibility, delegation of authority, and capacity of supervisors. And the last one is technique of communication. Technique of communication, where the physical control is required, then the number will be less. When the remote control is possible, number will be more. Number will be more itself. Okay, so the organization will allot the subordinates based on the in which technology we are using, in what manner we are able to reach them. Okay, earlier and state governments are having the network, physical network is there. They are able to get the communication from the bottom level, panchayat level, to the ministry level, and with their physical people will come and inform. Later telephone, landline phone, later will be mobile phone. Presently now they are able to control from the secretariat of a state of the panchayat. And even central government is also able to have connection with the central panchayat raj minister or the urban development minister, will able to contact with the local leader or local official. You can have, presently you are able to understand about the health officials of all over the districts, have one-to-one communication with the Prime Minister through Zoom call or through online meetings. So the highest level of India is the Prime Minister, who is able to reach the district level officer, where the state and another one is in between the leaders, in between the communication was discarded and communication was reached to the bottom level. That is the span of management, which communication have an important factor which affects the span of management. Okay, then coming to the types of management. One is a wide span of management, another one is narrow span of management. Wide span of management will be one supervisor is allotted with the more than 7-8 number of subordinates, where the organization may find supervisor is capable to control the subordinates. Subordinates are also as well as capable, where they can work with the less control or the less supervision of the superior. So in this, then the organization will go for the wide span of management. Here the supervisors less supervisors are able to appoint for the control of the organization. Then coming to the narrow span of management. This means a single manager or the supervisor is managing the few number of subordinates. So very few people are organized, very few people are allotted, very few subordinates are allotted to the supervisor. That may be either 2 or 3 So that this may be one of the point which will have impact is nature of the work. Maybe nature of the work and communication and type of the work is also one of the factor which organizations may go for narrow span of management. Okay, wide span of management. Manager is having 6 subordinates and one subordinate, efficient subordinate is allotted, one more 5 subordinates where he is looking after these subordinates. If possible, this chain or this ladder may link to the some other span also. Okay, possible. This is a wide span of management. Then coming to the narrow span of management. Manager is having the 3 employees. One employee is looking at 3 subordinates. One subordinate is also looking at 2 subordinates. That is a narrow span of management. Okay, students, hope you will understood about this span of management. Simple to understand. In the ability of the supervisor and the ability of the subordinate will fix whether to go for a wide or narrow span of management according to the work and according to the nature of communication, which is possible, control, supervision and responsibility. That is overall span of management. Okay, students, bye. We will meet you in next 3rd video, that is formal and informal organizations. Bye. Take care.